Shut up and sit down.
I didn't know you rode bikes.
I didn't know you rode bikes.
Let's go butt shopping fast.
I love my bike, I love to ride. Crank those pedals, feel such peace inside.
Hot seat.
Watch the trees, clouds, and sky, let my cares fall away.
Hi, welcome to the hot seat.
Hear the kids laugh, I laugh too, let's ride away.
You are listening to the Dialed Podcast with Matt Legrand, Evan Price, Lance Hepler, and Jake Von Turing. Here is a random thought for your day. No other emotion plays such a disruptive role in our lives as anger. While angry, our reasoning, which is necessary for thoughtful decision-making, is impaired. So, it's your choice. You can be bitter, or you can be better.
Here comes another bike. Hi there.
Hot
Funny how it makes me smile. Lots of bikes
You are
everywhere.
sitting in the hot seat.
Wish we were all cyclophiles. What was it Einstein said about hope for humanity? Push the pedals, feel the heartbeat today.
When I drink Bang Energy, I feel like I can see other people's worlds.
Because you're reading a book.
Hi, and welcome back to the Dial Podcast. I am Jake Von During, and I'm here with Lance friggin' Hepler.
Lance friggin' Hepler. Hello.
Frickin' Hepler.
Hello. Steph from Laverne and Shirley. Do you remember watching Laverne and Shirley and Squiggy?
No, because we're not 85 years old. Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne and Shirley.
That was old. That was...
And then Squiggy would come into the apartment and go, hello. It was so freaking annoying. I don't know why I said that. Now I'm the annoying Squiggy. Please don't start calling me Squiggy.
Lance Squiggy Hepler.
Friggin' Squiggy. To his left, Matt Legrand.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? You guys look frickin' fantastic. Frickin' Fran.
Yes, I do.
Sweet.
Yes, I do. Don't mind if I do.
Hey, we're going to get right into this thing because we got things to do today, right?
Okay.
All right, Lance, you want to backpedal?
Backpedal. I spent my holiday weekend in Long Beach, Washington.
Zwift, I mean, the Instagram pictures look great.
Thank you very much. The weather was uncharacteristically beautiful all weekend.
It was beautiful here,
was
too.
here too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had no.
Just makes you want to get on the
It just
bike.
makes
It's
you-
like, you're like, I can't not go on the bike
It
right
was
now.
bright, sunshiny days,
sir.
and just absolutely gorgeous out, and very little wind, and
Look at
like
this mug.
not a cloud in the sky. You got a joyful cup of Joe.
Does it feel like holidays now to you guys? Like now that Thanksgiving is over, are you starting to get the Christmas music rolling?
Sort of. How
little
did it
bit.
come up so fast?
A little bit. It's going to be a fast holiday season. It's going to be fast.
Just rolling.
Because you're going to roll off to Las Vegas. You're going to come back and it's going to be Christmas time.
Yes, indeed.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas.
But yeah, so I rode every single day I was out there. I was out there with my two daughters and their significant others,
Yes.
and my wife and our dogs.
Was Lake not there?
Lake was not there. Lake was with his girlfriend in
Oh, sounds
Southern
serious.
California.
Sounds serious.
Yes, he was invited to his girlfriend's house
That's
for which is somewhere near Valencia, I think.
Okay.
It's like north of LA. And I don't know where it was, but
I
it was
thought Valencia was close to Sacramento.
No, it's not.
It's not that. It's further south.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like near Magic Mountain.
I'm getting it mixed up with something.
All right.
I'm sure.
I really don't know California that well.
Me either.
Lake was down there. His girlfriend took him
Good
to
on you,
the
buddy.
Seahawks game, and he
Yeah.
spent it with his family. He said he had a great time. But we had a great time in Long Beach.
Yeah.
We spent a ton of time together. The beach was beautiful. The
Good.
pictures that I got were just ridiculous.
Did you guys rent a house?
We rented an Airbnb. Yeah.
Okay.
We rented a house.
And it's something you enjoyed, you liked? Was it on the water? Like, was it on the...
No, it
was close
was
enough that you
it
could-
was half a mile from the ocean.
Okay.
So very walkable, very nice.
Nice.
And it was so sunny out, and so I rode my bike every day, and I just went and tried to take as many KOMs as I could.
Did
take.
you almost kill any race directors while you were trying to get
Save
any
it.
KOMs?
Save
Wait.
it.
Oh, okay, fine. I have to overpass the... I thought that was going to be part of the backpedal.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But there's this beautiful trail called the Discovery Trail, which is 6-mile long paved trail for,
Nice.
for bikes and walkers and runners.
People, like little babies that are innocent, that you don't want to run over going 24 miles an hour going after KOM.
And so I'm looking at this trail and like thinking, I want what's the KOM on this? Oh, the wind looks favorable tomorrow. What's the KOM on this? Should I look at that? And you kind of have to go when it's cold enough that there's not too many people out there because
Yep.
you're just if you're like ripping past people, it's just not cool. So there was one day where it was actually pretty tame and I went for it. It was like a 17-minute segment and I got it by 3 seconds. I just
Nice work.
barely got it. Thank you.
Nice work. Nice job. Proud of you.
The dude,
I mean, I don't care about the toddler that you killed. You got the KOM.
the KOM.
That's what matters here.
And the dude I took it from like responded to my Strava post because he's a local. He
Yeah.
lives there.
Nice.
And he's like, anyway, it was kind of funny. I went in and
What did he say?
F you.
he's like, what,
Friggin' Hepler.
who are you? You came in here and took like 8 KOMs. That was not cool. What did he say? I gotta find it now. Yeah, here it is. Well,
Tick tock. We can come back to it if you like.
no, yeah.
Okay.
He followed me and said, he said, congrats on the KOMs.
Nice.
Oh, so you took about 8. You said how many of them were his?
Like 4.
Did he come back and take any yet?
He tried to get it that very afternoon.
Whoa.
That's funny.
He went back out that very afternoon and tried to get it back.
I've seen
but
that
it was,
kind of thing happen
but
before.
the trail was too crowded.
Yeah.
There was too many people. So I went like mid-morning.
Yeah.
There weren't many people out there because it was like 40 degrees. It was cold.
Yeah.
And he went at like 2:30 when it was warmer. And he's just like, there were too many people. I couldn't get it back.
That still reminds me of, like, I've told this story once before, but you know the Maybe Mines climb out there in Washougal?
Yes.
I remember riding out there, and it might have been with like Matt or Corey or something like that. And we didn't go super hard, but we went at a pretty brisk pace. And I got to the top and I ended up getting the carry. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then later on that day, it was about, I don't know, it was probably in October that this happened, because I remember going into to Portland. We were doing some Christmas shopping, and then all of a sudden I get a notification like, oh, you lost your KOM on Maybe Mines. I'm like, well, that's strange.
That was
the guy that I took it from drove out there, staged up, and did a bunch of like warm up.
See him out there. Get his lycra together, like get it on extra tight.
Yeah.
Spanks on. Let's go.
Full on warm up, went and attacked it, and he got me by like 5 seconds. And then he like kind of like chest pounded just a little bit. Like, yeah, I had to get this one back. This one meant a lot to me. I'm like, okay. I went back out the next week and it took it by like a minute and a half.
It's like, okay, here we go.
Okay.
I'm going
I don't know if it
through
was
the
quite that much, but it was a significant amount of
Like,
time.
it's gonna be a little harder for you this
Yeah,
time.
I think it still stands, and I shouldn't say that because somebody on the team's going to go out there and take it this weekend just by saying that. But back in the day when I used to be able to ride bikes and stuff. Sorry, hijacked your.
No, it's all good. I had a riot. I found some gravel roads and did some gravel riding. I rode on the beach quite a bit.
How many bikes did you take?
I just took my gravel bike and my road bike. I just took
Okay,
2
two.
bikes.
You had a slow-mo video of you getting sideways on the beach.
Yes.
You needed some like glorious 80s, like, I don't know, A-Team or like Knight Rider, like soundtrack music to go along with that. I expect to see that on TikTok later on today.
I was out just screwing around, and my daughter, Kelty, who's in the film industry,
Yeah.
she's like, Dad, let's do it again, but like right in front of me. And so we took like 10 takes. And
That's funny.
There were a couple times where I completely effed it up and didn't even like skid out because
Any fall downs or crashes?
I didn't fall down, but I'm like, I'm not a very good stunt man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I rode a lot.
10 times it is. Eh?
Good job.
Thanks.
Matt?
I went outside because the weather was like, it was one of those things you couldn't pass up. Went on like maybe, I don't remember which day it was. Maybe Friday or something.
I don't think we've seen any rain in about a week now, almost. It's been a pretty long stretch.
It was a nice little block of sun, and it was just like one of those days where I don't know, maybe it was Saturday. I don't remember which day it was, but it was a day where I was like, like taking kids to the pool back and forth. And I'm like, oh, it's so nice. I got to just go out there and do something. And yeah, I think I texted David Goodman, and I'm like, did you already bike inside? And he was like, yeah. I was like, I'm going to bike inside too. And then I was like, I can't. I'm just going to go out. And so I just prune hilled it.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, just climbed around Prune Hill for a little while. And then I've run a couple days and swam a couple days.
Yeah.
All good.
Sweet.
Yep.
Nice.
My hip is still acting up because I'm 84 years old, 84 years young, and now I've got hip problems.
I'm telling you, that stuff's contagious, Matt. It's contagious.
I think I like
I'm leaving the room.
Yeah.
I don't want to get whatever sickness you guys are spreading.
Ageism.
I don't want it.
You're an ageist.
Wait, I'm 10 years older than you, Matt.
You're an ageist.
You're an
You're
ageist.
ageism. There's no ageism on this podcast. There's a lot of ageism on this podcast, actually.
Awesome.
Okay.
Cool. I rode outside for the first time in 4.5 months.
Whoa.
4.5 months.
And I saw it. I saw him.
Yeah.
out
You
there.
witnessed
I
it?
witnessed it. I saw.
Four-
Did you ride outside?
No, we'll get to this
I
in a
did
minute.
ride outside, but not with him.
We'll get to it momentarily. But yeah, we did the Thanksgiving morning gravel ride, which was a lot of fun. And that was the first time I'd ridden outside since I think it was the first week of, or second week of July. So 4.5
Wow.
months.
Jake.
I took off 5 solid weeks, like zero. And then
yeah.
it's been just a lot of like easy trainer rides and then slowly just starting to ramp things up. So last week I logged a whopping 5.5 hours, which Lance has probably logged in the last 2 days, but it's just part of the
Hey,
process,
that's
the baby steps. So, but you know, if you add in the 3.5 hours that I spent at the gym, and that's quality time at the gym, there's not a lot of fluff in there. Like I keep the tempo up. It's 9 hours of training last week. So it's
That's good.
slowly but surely coming around.
It's getting into some real training.
Yeah. So
How was the outside ride?
fantastic.
Had a good time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It wasn't super comfortable. It was kind of what I was expecting, but it was a good time. Chilly, fun, good people, good
Love it.
times. So
All right.
sweet. On that note,
Champ Bailey in sports.
There's nothing. We got nothing, right?
Champ Bailey has probably
Champion.
nothing.
Champion. Okay, there was a World Cup cyclocross race in Dublin, Ireland.
Okay.
So that was kind of exciting. And there was a super prestige race or an XCO race. Yeah, whatever. There was a cyclocross race the day before
Mhm.
that Michael Van Taurenhout, who is the leader. He was the European champion. He won the European championships like 2 weeks ago. So he
Okay.
is legit. He had pulled himself back from being like in 5th place, was leading the race on the last lap, washed out on a corner,
Oh,
separated his shoulder.
yeah.
Isn't he the one that
Dang it.
reduced his shoulder, put it back in by himself?
No, that was Lars Van der Haar.
Or was that what that was? I just saw that. I was like,
Fucking
like almost
Mel
my mouth.
Gibson. That
Yeah.
was a Lethal Weapon throwback. He
Yeah.
put his shoulder back
Back
in.
in.
Yeah. No, Michael Van Taurenhout could not continue, so he didn't continue. But he still showed up the next day in Dublin and lined up for the World Cup, UCI World Cup race.
Wow.
And I think he finished. I'm not sure if he finished.
I
or
wonder if
not.
he's just like finishing trying to get points for, or like
Course.
call ups, or,
Of course.
how it
You
is.
want that front row call up.
Sure.
You want that.
Good job. Good job.
Anyway,
Wasn't there a road race or a criterium or a circuit race that just happened in the last couple days that Peter Sagan won?
no, I have no idea.
It was like it was his very last race and he won it.
Swan.
And you can see Pogacar in the background. It like kind of blurred out just a little bit, you know, because they had a little bit of depth of field. They're using a nice lens on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Sagan's like kind of one arm
Arming
up and like posting up a little bit, and you can see Tadej in the background with a big smile on his face, and that was his last race, Sagan's last race on the road,
Oh,
and he won. I don't know what the name of it is. I should have known this. It just popped in my head because
was
Champ
it an
Bailey's
in quotation race?
it is sort of.
Okay.
I'm wondering
guessing.
if Tadej just let him have it, but you know, he's a competitor too. He wants to win stuff. But at the same time, these guys all have a lot of respect for Sagan. He's done a lot for the sport. He's a good guy. And that was his last road race. And so he kind of gets to go out on a high note.
Sagan is moving to mountain bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's wanting to go to the Olympics in mountain bikes for his home country.
Good luck.
Yep. Which will be difficult for him, but he wants to race mountain bikes this next year
Sure.
and try to go to the Olympics. That's going to be his goal.
I
guess.
could really see him doing some damage on a gravel bike too. I'm curious to see if that's ever something. I mean, he'll probably get into it a little bit.
He might, but he started on a mountain bike and then
Yeah.
moved to road, and so he kind of wants to finish. He
Scratch that itch, yeah,
Yeah.
while he still has something in the tank.
That's what he said.
Cool.
Champ out. That's all I know.
Thanks, Champ.
Good job, champ.
Let's jump into our topic. Do you guys want to jump in the topic?
Let's go.
Do you guys? Are you sure? Are you ready?
No.
Ready.
No.
Ready.
What is it?
Okay.
That's hot. That's hot.
That's hot.
Hot.
Hot seat. Hey, who wants to go first?
You, Jake.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Or does Matt go first?
I think Matt's working on something over there, so I can go first. My question is going to come in the form of an AITA. All right. That's all I need to ask. Moving on. Lance, your turn.
Oh, good.
Right.
Good.
Am I we can say this, right?
Yes.
It's your podcast.
It's our podcast is rated clean,
Clean.
but
I think that's clean.
I think that's
They
clean.
use that on the Disney Channel these days, right? Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for riding significantly slower than Lance frigging Hepler on Heritage Trail, known for housing, or not housing, but being a major thoroughfare, a popular destination, a good place for people to go out and walk and jog and do all the hikey things?
This sounds like you're calling me the
No, I'm
asshole.
not. No. I'm just.
That's always that's implied. It's implied with any question.
Giving things a little bit of
Okay,
reference here. So anyway, am I the asshole for riding on the Heritage Trail at about 10 to 12 miles an hour, and specifically telling people like prior, like, hey, you know, not people, like the people that are riding with us, go slow. There's pedestrians out there. It's going to be busy today. Go slower.
It was Thanksgiving morning.
It was Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm riding down there and I thought we were doing pretty good. I don't think we were jamming. I don't have anything to jam with anyway. I'm slow right now. Right. So, and
you can probably look at your data and see exactly how fast you're going.
I can pull that up. And while we were doing your things, I'll go check and give you my average speed on there. And I was riding.
Average speed is,
but I can look at I can just look at segments of it, like chunks of it.
Blocks.
But according to Mr. Matt LeGrand, who was out on said trail with his cross-country kids and some other folks doing a little turkey trot.
There was a cross-country turkey trot going on at the same time with little kids, youngest age of maybe 8 or so. So pretty small little kids running around. There were reports that the dialed cycling team was going 17 miles an hour and they almost ran over some small kid or something like that.
Really?
When I ran by you, I was obviously.
You heard that from other people?
Yes.
All those orange a-holes went by here and knocked over
that's
kid.
my cycling team. So no, they didn't knock over any kids or anything like that. Supposedly there was like a whoops, we need to correct on the cycling thing. Like someone was riding wide to do a jump or bunny hop or something. And there's like, whoops,
Jake averaged 14.9 miles per hour.
That's more than 10 or 12 that he said originally.
Well,
that's what he averaged.
The first one is a long straightaway when we first get going where you have clear line of sight. Yeah, it's going to be a little faster, but through the middle of it, we did slow down. I can actually remember us coming to, I think we came to a full stop and even put a foot down just because there was multiple people and we just wanted
When I saw you, I gave you like 5.
Yeah, I slowed down, high five.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
That looks super fine to me. But I'm just reporting what other people said.
All right. Well, I was also tail gunning that group too. So there were maybe a couple people off the front. So maybe it's not am I the asshole or was my team the asshole? And
I also think it's tricky with little kids because you just they're going to be all over the trail, right? They're not going to be on the right side of the trail. They're going to be everywhere.
Yeah. We've actually had issues with people before in the past calling us out, telling us that we were riding unsafely.
Yeah.
And what's funny is one of the gentlemen who took it upon himself to search out another person who he knew was potentially affiliated with us to read him the riot act. Just basically said that these guys were flying down unsafe and flying way too fast and
on the roads or
no on Heritage Trail. And what's funny is I record all of these rides.
Yeah,
because sometimes it's fun just to capture that, or sometimes it's just good to have video editing. Exactly, if something's going on, and I'll have a front and rear camera. And what's funny is after the person brought this to my attention, I went back to the camera. I took a screenshot of the that particular person that I thought who it could be. Sent it back to my friend and said, "Hey, is this him?" He's, "Oh yeah, that's him." And then I went and I gave him all of the metrics of that exact segment. We were going like 8 or 9 miles an hour. We were full to the right, even though he said that we almost went head on into him. We were not going fast. There was no corners involved, and he was fully just embellishing. He was having a Karen moment, I guess. But anyway, anyway,
but it's hard when that trail with some of the little tight turns and stuff, and the
there's blind corners.
There's blind corners and stuff like that. And I think when you start looking at like, oh, you have a cross country team, those kids are not smart. They are going to take the whole trail. And if you have like 2 teams coming towards each other on some of those blind trails, like they're going to like basically run into each other.
Yeah.
And they don't do a good job of like getting single file and getting out of people's way. So we get complaints at the cross country team that they don't share the trail. Like they're running and they're not sharing the trail. And I've seen them do it before, and I've yelled at them. I've been like, "You guys have got to go when you're passing people or you're coming up on a group. You've got to go single file."
Yeah. Hey,
So-
Lance, while you're working on this, can you pull up the ride invite that's coming out tomorrow or for tomorrow? And we'll be going through that same section at nighttime, mind you. But I wasn't the one who put this out, but they used the exact same verbiage. And this is something that is force fed to every single person that shows up to all of these rides in terms of like how we expect them to ride on that trail in particular, as well as when we're out on the Washougal Dike too, because it's not uncommon for us to have people out there, and we are always going much, much faster on the Washougal Dike, but it's also like way wide open, and you can see.
Visibility's good.
Wait,
yeah.
on Washougal.
Yeah, people see it coming. The ride event, it says this clearly: please ride safely on Heritage Trail and pay special attention to all blind corners and deer. You must yield to walkers and joggers. Additionally, announce to all other trail users that you are approaching. And again, make sure you yield to anyone not on a bike. Thank you in advance for helping us keep the peace with the public. Blah, blah,
Yeah, no, I think it's. I don't think that there was any. I'm guessing that there was probably people in the front that were going. I don't know. I wouldn't say 17, but they were probably going 15, and they probably were two abreast or whatever. And then they were like, "Oh shit." Like let's slide in and try to tuck in, because they saw a group of people or whatever it was. I'm just guessing because I was where I saw it seemed fine.
They've gotten a lot better. When Lance shows up to these rides, it's a different story.
Totally different.
Shut it. It's true.
I'm on the apology tour off the back saying, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But
it is a tough look for the team because everyone's wearing dialed stuff. And so it's like, I almost feel like
you
guys
recognize it immediately.
I feel like you guys should, like, what's a team that we hate?
We should all wear POA gear.
Oh, just be nice to POA.
We like POA.
I feel like we should just find some team and just be like, we're always
matter of fact, it might have been a POA guy on the front of that, if I remember right. And you know who I'm talking about. I don't want to call names out, but he was out there and he was wearing his POA stuff. So maybe it was a POA guy. So we can just pass the buck right here, right now. It was not us.
I'm always like, let's wear union stuff and just be bad.
Yeah.
Cross country races.
School
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So what is the threshold for me not to get called an a-hole by Matt for this?
It's going to be tricky because you were probably perfectly fine and someone else in the group probably was questionable.
If I'm a part of that group by proxy, I'm just as guilty as anybody. Because especially if I'm the one that's the ride leader, I need to make sure that everybody's minding their P's and Q's. And if they're not, then that falls on me ultimately. So
I ride that a lot because I ride with cross country runners. When I come up on people, and I'm using a mountain bike, so it's just a lot slower, but I almost come to like their speed and then pass. So the ride is just totally different. It's just a different ride where it's like no pace whatsoever, basically.
Personally, if I'm on the front, I always announce and I'm always ringing the bell. And if I don't get some sort of like visual, like confirmation that they hear me coming, I will slow way down. And a lot of times they just don't hear you because they're the assholes wearing earbuds. They can't hear what you're doing or whatever. And you come by and they jump out of their skin and they're like, oh my God, you scared me. I'm like, I yelled at you 15 times, but that's neither here nor there. But I will slow down quite a bit for them. If they have kids, absolutely slow down for them. If they have animals, I absolutely slow down for them.
Animals are tricky. And a lot of people have dogs and their dogs are off the leash or whatever. And it's like,
I do kindly remind them like, hey, rules are rules. Put your dog back on the leash.
Yeah. Fine.
Anyway. So the rule.
Piper? Did someone say Piper?
If I'm on a trail like that, Piper's not on a leash. I'm clearly the asshole in this because he is not interested in bikes.
She's
or
not.
People.
She's good on.
She is off in the bushes.
Yeah.
Running through the bushes.
She's happy.
Yeah.
She's not getting.
She wouldn't run in front of a bike or anything like that. I mean, she's got a lot of experience riding with you. But
she does. And actually, I don't take her on trails where there's going to be a lot of people on. I either go really early or at a time where there aren't many people on it. And
you use a special collar with her still, correct?
Yes.
Where you can like tone her, you can vibrate her, you can shock.
It gives her a tone. It beeps at her, and that's her recall button. That means go back to dad.
Yeah.
So she comes back. So
we have the same thing. Works.
Yeah.
We're like, we never have to use the shock or the buzz or anything. It's just like beep is like, oh, I'm scared. Go back.
Yeah, go back.
So the answer of the story is POA, who was leading the ride, was the 8-hole. Lance always an 8-hole, and I'm fine because I give Matt a high five.
Perfect. True. Yeah, the high five definitely sealed the deal. That's all it takes.
All right, moving on. Lance, go.
I had a similar experience this weekend in Long Beach.
Okay.
Because this paved trail is 6.5 miles long or something, right? And on Thursday, on Thanksgiving morning, I went out and got the KOM.
Is this your hot seat question?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But
it's important.
but I got this. I got the KOM on the whole 6 mile section, but there were like 2 or 3 other shorter segments that I didn't get. And so I went out Friday to give that a try, but the trail was just too busy. So I kind of aborted halfway through, but not before I came screaming around a corner and I'm on the paved path. And all of a sudden I see all these Y Racing banners, and boom, there's Carissa from Y Racing, the race director.
Carissa.
And I'm rolling through going fast. And she's like, Lance, what are you doing out here? And I'm like, hey, Carissa.
Right by her?
Just right by. That's all I did, but say, hey, Carissa. And I just went smoking past her because I thought I could still get the next segment. I did not.
And did you go back and say hi to her?
When I went back, they were already
already
gone. So it was late in
right.
the day. So she was doing some kind of
to answer
Black Friday run.
To answer Chris's question, Lance, yes, you were an asshole.
Yes, Carissa, I was the asshole. I should.
They have some sort of like Christmas Santa run coming up in downtown Camas.
They do.
If you guys are runners, go check out yracingevents.com.
I'm actually impressed with that. At A, how many people show up, and B, how many people are actually like in costume. But don't they hand out like a Santa shirt, and then people like kind of accent it with like a hat and all this stuff? Like everybody was wearing like the same Santa shirt. It was, and I believe Y Racing handed out all of this to everybody. It looked really cool. So
yeah,
it's pretty well attended.
Get out there, people. That's a good race. I've never done it, but
yeah,
it's Y Racing, so you know it's good.
Going back to Heritage Trail, there is no sign anywhere posted what a speed limit is or what the rules are. I mean, there's not.
It's common courtesy.
It's just courtesy.
Yeah.
You know,
we've been riding it lately at night. Nobody's on it.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And because you've ridden it so many times, we know where the corners are.
Yeah.
So we've gone pretty fast at night, but nobody's on it.
I could see that ending poorly with like some runner that's keeping a decent clip. Like let's say they're running 6-minute pace,
but they've got a light on, so you see them from.
No, not.
Well, then
not
they're
the
the idiot.
Not the like high school runners or whatever.
We haven't run into that yet.
Yeah.
But they can see our lights coming. I mean, those are pretty bright at night.
Those are good.
And all of us have lights on. Yeah.
I do have the KOM going westbound on that.
Yeah.
And I still slowed down for the corners and went wide and then just kind of got out of the saddle and got back up to speed as quickly as possible. But that was like, I think 20 miles an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, cool.
All right. Hot seat question for you.
Matt's
Go for it.
Zwift and Wahoo are some weird things going on. There's some weird stuff going down.
Yes.
Jake probably knows more than anyone what the heck is going on, A. B, what does this weird partnership mean in the future for the two companies? A little bit of back piece for a little bit of back history. They were suing each other because of patent infringement when the Zwift hub infringed on something with the Wahoo Kicker trainers. So they were in the middle of a lawsuit battle that lasted, I'm going to throw out a number and it's just probably going to be wrong. I'm going to say the lawsuit was like 2 years. Then they settled. All of a sudden, Zwift went from selling these Wahoo devices that they were just trying to fire sale, get rid of, to now being like, oh, we're going to have Wahoo set the price. We're going to get rid of our Zwift hub that we were doing, and we're going to sell the Wahoo Kicker Core in its place with a cassette on there, just like they did for the Zwift hub, to make all of that sales process go easier. And in addition to that, when you buy something from Wahoo, you can get a year of Zwift free. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this stuff.
It's not necessarily free because the prices are $100 more than what you would pay buying it direct from Wahoo or a bike shop.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway,
but they're definitely tight, and it's very odd. I think last week Zwift made an announcement that they're going to get rid of their They're going to get rid of their Zwift Hub Classic and just keep the Zwift Hub 1, which was super. It's originally they were just like, hey, we're going to have both of these. You can choose which one you want. And then it was like 2 weeks later, they're like, yeah, we're getting rid of the other one. You have to choose the Zwift Hub piece. It's a very weird way to announce it. You'd think that they would have just, when they announced that hub thing, they would have been like, yeah, the old one is going away. But they were like, nope, you can choose between the two. And then you're like, 2 weeks later, no, you can't.
So hot.
It's
you
hot.
gotta listen naked.
I know that's not that hot of a hot seat question.
I've got
an
idea on that. I mean, I think that the Wahoo Kicker Core is definitely in need of a refresh.
I agree.
I believe that Zwift has kind of learned a little bit about the fact that it's not as easy as they maybe think it is to, create a product. creating trainers, if you will, and they wanted to make some money there. But if I had to guess, I think that you're going to see all of the Zwift stuff that they're making go away after they're done with their production of whatever they committed to.
Yeah.
Exactly. The Kicker core is going to go away, and then you're going to get something that's going to replace the core that might have some Zwift branding on it, where they're going to work for them, and they're going to have like a co-ventured project that Zwift will sell these maybe exclusively, and they can use some of their technologies there. And in Wahoo will make that for them, and everybody kind of wins. Zwift is still going to make a decent amount of money on these trainers if they're selling them, and Wahoo potentially could make them for them. They're going to make their money, and then that allows Zwift to stay in their lane. They've got this little thing where they're playing nice together, and then just kind of see where it goes from there.
It's interesting because I'm not sure on dates, but like a year ago, I feel like Wahoo was on the chopping blocks with like debt, and they have that debt problem.
Yes,
And
they did.
their previous owner, I think, bought out all the debt, and like they're good now. They they're all solid and stuff. But there was that slim opportunity for like Zwift to have swept in and snagged the company on discount. Do you think that those two companies would ever merge?
That is a good question.
That's a possibility.
It's bad timing now.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It makes a lot more sense for them to work together, have a symbiotic relationship, as opposed to being at each other's throats, because the only people that are going to win in that situation are the lawyers, and it's hurting each other. So if they're working together, Wahoo's going to sell more trainers, Zwift is going to sell more memberships, everybody's going to be happy and copacetic, and they can work together on like fulfilling what the customer wants. So that makes a lot of sense to me. But I mean, it's kind of, I'm not going to say it's not incestuous. It's more of like you dated somebody and you broke up with them, then you got back together, and then you broke up, and then now you're like engaged to get married, and it's like, all right, well, what happens when they actually tie the knot? I mean, what does that look like? Is somebody going to acquire somebody who's got the deeper pockets here?
Oh, that's it. I would have guessed Zwift having the deeper pockets a year ago, but now that I think that Wahoo has their previous owner on board, I don't think they'd sell. I don't think they would sell. I think they're like happy we do hardware. We have these bike computers that are good and they sell. Like that's their bread and butter between that and the trainers, which I think that they look at trainers and they think this is not the future of our company because that particular market segment is so saturated. And because people that are going to buy trainers have bike trainers already, and they don't wear out every year or two, they last 5 years.
There hasn't been much in the way of innovation either over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. But bike computers, which Wahoo is very good at, they could have a refresh like every 2 years and resell everybody computers every 2 years.
They could, if they wanted to, do a yearly cycle. No company does that in the bike computer industry, but like they do on the watch industry or things like that. And so there's a possibility that they could do something like that. I don't think they will. I think 2 years is a sweet spot, but right now they're like every 4 years.
Yeah,
it's more than that.
You're a big watch guy and you know all the stuff. They're constantly pushing this. There's new stuff coming out almost yearly, like you've said. Are they just like marginal, incremental like changes or advancements? Or, I mean, when was the last time that you saw a significant change year over year over year?
Well,
I mean, does it make more sense for them to not do it so often so that a product can kind of live its cycle? Or is it kind of nice to know that you've got new things coming down the pipeline at all times, getting better batteries, getting better chips, getting better...
You've got a company like Apple, right, that will, almost like clockwork, will be releasing a new watch in September or October.
Yeah.
Like every year. And just expect it. That's the time. They'll do that. It'll come out. Then even on Black Friday, they'll still discount that brand new product just a little bit. It's like you can just count on these things. They're like, these are going to happen. Garmin's totally different. They'll sometimes be like, we're going to update this product once every 3-4 years. Whoops. Maybe we're going to do one every 9 months.
Yeah.
It was like,
that's
where did that come out?
Yeah.
It was just crazy. So you'll see these weird things from Garmin. It's not quite as predictable. Not that that's a good or bad thing. And I don't even think that it's based on like, hey, we've done enough things to warrant an update. It's just totally random from Garmin. I would love to see Garmin start to get on more of like a regular update. Like, hey, we update this every year and we have these incremental changes. Like whatever it is, like this is our Epix watch. This year it's this. Next year it's going to have a flashlight. The next year after that, it's going to have a new heart rate sensor. The year after that, it's going to have ECG stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like just these little changes that you can kind of expect to be better and better each year. And the customer can make the decision if it's worth the jump or not. Garmin's Garmin's not doing that, and that's okay. Like that's their call, however they want to do it.
So the question then leads to: does it make sense for bike computers to stay the course what they've been doing this whole 2 to 3 year cycle, or would you prefer to see something happen on an annual basis?
I would love to see, if they did it on a 2-year cycle. I think that would be a pretty good spot because it's going from like 4 to 2.
Yeah,
4 is just too much.
That's
like,
too long.
Too much technology changes and stuff like that. And so I think that if they're really innovating in that particular space, they're going to want to speed up that
in a
process.
Bike computer too it's a bigger product, therefore it can have more processing power, it can have more battery power, and you can make a lot of changes to these just through firmware if you give it the right the right build.
I think Hammerhead Crew is a good example of that, where they're this company. They're like, we have this product. It's kind of basically like it's a block, like a cell phone, and we are just going to cruise on the software side of things. Every 2 weeks, you're getting software updates with new features and things like that. And so they were cruising, and they're in this weird spot where they're selling their hardware at a discount now. It's always, if you're looking, you can always find a discount on some sort of Hammerhead Crew 2, which leads me to think like they got to have a Crew 3 coming out at some point.
I would have bet good money on something coming out prior to the holidays.
Yeah, you would think.
Nothing, not a word. Yeah,
nothing. And I haven't heard any rumors or anything like that. And there's some like low hanging fruit, like they'll do like a multi-band GPS thing or whatever. That's just not that helpful. It is helpful on the mountain biking side of things, probably not that helpful on like the road cycling side of things. Better battery life for them for sure. But yeah, I just don't know. Maybe they're looking at that and they're like, it's a nice update, but there's not that much value from going from where we are to that. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what they do.
Slight little tangent there.
That was a tangent. But that's what we do. And I'm out of time, so
you got to scoot, huh?
Yep.
All right. Do you even want to hear what Lance has to ask real quick?
Yes.
Matt,
I'll answer it in the car on the way home.
What did you get for Black Friday? Did you buy anything on Black Friday?
I did. And so I made a video. This is my one last thing also. I made a video, and it was like 5 Black Friday deals in 5 minutes. And I suggested some watches, and I suggested some swim stuff, and I suggested one other thing. I can't remember what it was.
Tax Neo.
Yeah, which was $500 off for if you need a smart bike trainer. That's a nice one. So I ordered none of those things
because I think you already have it all.
Because I have everything that there is to have. But I ordered an extension cord and Christmas lights, and I used the extension cord to take it because, of course, Amazon just shows up, like you press the button and they're like ding dong.
Yeah,
we're right here. We delivered. We're ready outside when you press the order button. And so I took the extension cord and ran it out the back gate and took it into the woods, and I made this tree that you can see from our house. Our neighbors, I thought our neighbors would be able to see it, but they can't, because I went over to their house and I was like, come on, look over here. And they know. But we decorated a tree in the woods.
Decorated a tree in the woods.
Yeah.
With lights and ornaments.
And then I put an Alexa, Jake will be proud, because I put an Alexa little plug so I can turn on the outside Christmas lights. So this morning I woke up my kids at 7 a.m. I was like, look out the window. And I was like, and they have an Alexa in their room. So I told Alexa to turn on the Christmas light. Clink. It's like little ding. Lights came on.
Yeah, you just tell her to turn on Christmas in my house, and everything turns on. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Christmas music?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
So it's pretty slick.
I love it. Bye guys.
All right, Matt. Have fun playing fireplaces. What did you buy on Black Friday, Lance? Did you buy anything?
I did. I was not planning on buying anything, but I did. I've been having electrical issues in the van.
Uh-oh.
And it's like I have a Goal Zero unit that is 7 years old, and those have life cycle limits.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that I've hit my life cycle limit.
Yeah.
With that, and Goal Zero was having a monstrous sale.
Really?
Yes.
Didn't they just get bought out by somebody? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, keep going.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got a new electrical system for the van.
New batteries or the full
kit? Yeah.
Really?
I'm going to replace the whole unit.
You doing this yourself?
I am going to do it myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's just like the battery banks and probably like a master controller kind of thing that you have to put in there.
Correct.
But all wiring is going to be good. You just have to plug and play that, right?
Kind of. I also bought 4 more solar panels for the top of the van to replace some previous solar panels.
Are those ones worn out, broken, just not very powerful?
Not very powerful. Not enough.
How many watts did you get up there?
I only had 200 watts.
That's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
No.
And I bought 400-watt panels.
Okay, so you're doubling it. Yeah.
So I'm and I'm leaving 100 watts up there, so I'm gonna have 500 watts total.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
You got
So,
enough real estate for that, huh?
I do.
Huh.
I had to. I'm like I've got the stuff in my cart. I had to go back outside and keep measuring the top of the van, and then measuring. Yeah, it was a process that I thought would take like 15 minutes, and it took like 2.5 hours.
Jeez.
because those battery packs are expensive.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so like the one I'm getting, it's normally almost $3,000
Oh, yeah.
for this power system for the van.
Uh-huh.
It was on sale for $1,800.
Wow.
That was
It was like a
enough.
3,000 watt.
It's the Yeti. It's the Goal Zero Yeti 3000X.
Okay.
So yeah,
It's a solid bank.
it's a solid bank.
Sweet.
So I hope it comes. If it comes while I'm gone in Vegas, I'm driving home because that's going to be like a 2-week project to install.
Seriously, you'll drive home just for that, huh?
Yes, because the van has to be ready for January when I go back to Arizona. Anyway,
Snowbird.
I know. So,
Right on. What else did you get? Anything else?
I did buy some other stuff. There is geez, this is embarrassing. There's a bike apparel company called Club Ride. So Club Ride does it's like mountain bike and gravel gear that you can also wear to the pub, that you can also wear to the bar.
It's like casual wear.
It's like casual wear, but like with a chamois and with like different ventilation. Like you can get flannels with different ventilations and rear pockets.
Really?
Yes.
That is actually kind of smart.
Yes.
I like
and
that.
So I ran into them at Rebecca's Private Idaho. They had a booth at their expo.
Uh-huh.
And I looked at him a couple years ago because the guy who started the company actually lived in the Ketchum area, in Sun Valley area. And I looked at a couple and they were it was expensive stuff. And there was a certain color I wanted, so I never bought anything. But man,
Went on sale, huh?
a bunch of stuff went on sale. And so I bought some shorts and a flannel and maybe a pair of pants and
Wow.
maybe another pair of pants. So
Right on.
so that was it. It was like casual ride stuff,
Yeah.
which I tend to do fairly often. That was it. Did I buy anything else? Yeah, that was it. What about you, Jay? Did you get anything?
Oh, geez. There was a few things that I had my eyes on. And I was like, this is the time of year to buy that stuff. I just got so disenfranchised with how this year went in terms of like all the different sales being shoved down your throat. I don't know if that was kind of my way of revolting, but I didn't buy anything.
Dude, Friday morning, I woke up to like 50 emails that were all offers for Black Friday. I deleted every single one of them.
Well, yeah. And you
Except
start
for
getting all of
Goals
these
Zero.
emails from all these places from like things that you don't even like recall ever like asking for them. You get that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, people are always selling you information, but it's neither here nor there. But I felt like I was getting stuff like, and I've got several different email accounts like everybody does, right? I've got my work one, my personal one, then you got your spam one, and then you've got another one that you forgot about, and all that stuff filters into your same inbox. And it was like on the daily basis, it was like over 100 emails that I was getting for all these different deals. I'm like, just stop it. And like, I'm like, all right, I've unsubscribe, trying to do all that stuff. And in doing that, some of them you probably like, didn't get unsubscribed and they probably just harvested your email and sent it off to somebody else. You never know what's going to happen there. But I had a couple things get put into carts because I'm like, all right, I'm going to keep an eye on this because for me, it's like there's not things that I necessarily want, but like there's a lot of stuff that we use for work or for like website stuff that you can get really killer deals on, and you can like extend your subscription or get an upgrade on this or get little things that you need. So I had some things in the cart and like I kind of just walked away from all of it because I got so tired of all of the emails. And it's like I'm almost like willing to pay a little bit more just to have my sanity of like not having all these stupid emails and sitting here with like, is that the best deal or chasing your tail on us? I don't know. It's just obnoxious. And kind of goes back to, I think there was a little bit of a revolt this year, a little bit of a pushback from the general population in terms of like, we're kind of tired of all this stuff. You got all of your inflation, and you do see a lot of like people like unearthing these stories about like Amazon had like the same deal back in October, and then all through the end of October and all of November leading up to that, they jacked the price up, and you can see this in plugins. They'll jack the price up just to say that it's back on sale and they're going to give you this killer deal when it's not really a deal at all.
Right.
And you kind of get the sense that that's happening a lot of times. And then there's a lot of times, or there's like videos and like little snippets of stuff that you're seeing of people going to like, I don't know, Walmart or Target or Kohl's or you name the place. And like they've got their Black Friday sticker on there of like what the price was. And the people are peeling back the stickers and unearthing the stickers below it. And they saw that item was on clearance like in the summertime, but it was still hanging around. But they went and put a Black Friday sticker on it,
top of it.
that, you know, we'll just use this as a round number. They're like, oh yeah, this is $10. And then you peel back the sticker and it's like, oh, on clearance for $5.95. And like they actually raised the price and told them that it was on sale, and which is still lower than the MSRP. But I just feel like there was a lot of like, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on that was a little bit underhanded. And I was just kind of like, you know what? F all y'all. As a matter of fact, with the lab too, like we kicked it around back and forth. Like, should we be open on Black Friday? And I thought about it, I'm like, no, we don't need to be open on Black Friday. You know, that's a day that like for a lot of years, yes, there was like big corporations that would open up and for a lot of time though, everything was closed on Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving. You're supposed to spend time with your family. You're supposed to go do things outside. And then all of a sudden this Black Friday thing comes around and all of a sudden all the stores are open up and there's these crazy sales going on and you got people fighting over stuff. That actually started to spill into Thanksgiving. And that's really when I like I get pissed off about all this stuff. I'm like, screw you guys. I don't even care anymore. But now it's just like the whole thing with all of the sales started like as soon as it turned November. It's like Halloween's over. All right, let's start the Black Friday. Oh, actually, let's just do Black November. You know, that's kind of what it ended up being. It's like the deals they've been the same all month long.
I'm still getting emails saying, hey, our Black Friday deals are still going on.
Here's our pre-Black Friday deal. Here's our Black Friday deal. Here's our post-Black Friday deal. Here's our small business thing, even though we're not a small business deal. Here's our Cyber Monday. Oh, it's all on sale still. And it just keeps going and going and going. And it's like you can go get the same deal today as you did a few days ago. You can get the same deal next week, and it will probably go, no joke, until after Christmas. Like, here's our Christmas sale. Here's our post-Christmas sale. Here's our New Year's Eve special. Here's our New Year's Day special. And like, oh, just one more second. This is our last chance. And then like next, it's President's Day and they're doing the sales again. So I don't know. A lot of times you don't need to do all this crap. Don't fold to consumerism. So
there was a bike company that was having a Black Friday deal, of course. And I went and looked on the site and thought I saw something that I was interested in. And I put it in my cart. And then I sat there for a minute and realized I do not need this.
Yeah.
And so I just abandoned the cart.
Sure.
And sure enough, like the next day, I get an email. Hey, that item is still in your cart, and now it's 10% more off. I'm like, what? You gotta be kidding! I still didn't buy it, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that got good deals, and and we have the Dialed Cycling Lab. We've got like, email lists, and we've got like people that we can push stuff out to. I purposefully didn't push out anything because I didn't want to bother people. I don't know. That's probably a totally dumb, unsavvy business move, but it's more of like, it's just, it's a matter of principle. Like, I'm like, these people don't need one more thing. Like, if you go to our website, you'll see everything there that's on special. And we've got a lot of things. If you want to get something, get a good deal on it, go there. And if it's not, just email us, we'll give you a good deal on it. But I don't know. I'm kind of done with all that.
Yeah.
Oh, but it is still kind of fun. There are certain things that I still want to get, and I might still pull the trigger on. We'll see.
I saved $1,000 on an electrical unit.
That is a killer deal.
That was a killer deal.
And I've got a van too, and there were some things that I wanted to get, and I did purposefully go to these particular websites to see what was on sale. None of it.
Yeah, right.
Nothing. There's not even like a banner. There's nothing about any kind of sales. They're like, nope, this is the price. I'm like,
this is what it is.
Son of a biscuit eater.
I'm pretty sure the unit I'm buying is either being upgraded next year or discontinued, which they'll still warranty it. But I'm sure that's why this one was on sale, because
they could go away. Yeah.
Their other ones weren't on sale.
Here's another question for you. How much longer are you going to have that van? You've had that van now for 5 years.
I've had it for 5 years.
You put like 200,000 miles on it.
It's got 190,000 miles on it now.
So you've put 160 on it, right?
Yes, I put 160 on it. I don't know. I keep looking at vans, but I don't have money for another van.
Well, yeah. Well, things will always change.
But things will change. So at the moment, I don't have plans to sell it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have money to get another one.
And for what it's worth, it's still working just fine.
Yes. And the van market has softened quite a bit. So I won't get as much for my van when I sell it. And
I think you'll save a lot more on a new one than you're going to lose on the old one.
Yeah.
So it's still in your favor.
Yeah. So but every time I look at other vans in the configuration, I never see something that will work as well as what I've got, the configuration that I've got.
Yeah.
I really like my configuration.
Yeah.
Huge garage, small living space.
Yeah.
And most of them are big living space,
Tiny garage.
tiny garage.
Yeah. Gotta get those bikes in there somehow,
I
right?
got to get the bikes in.
I do need to get started on mine though. I'm just waiting for all these yahoos to put stuff on sale. And I really need a new bumper.
Yes, you hit a deer.
I hit a deer. That sucked. Anyway. All right. I think that's enough of that. You want to jump into one last thing?
Let's do one last thing.
What you got? Well, we already heard Matt's one last thing. He's got his video. Go watch Matt's video.
Go watch Matt's video. It's cool.
All that stuff's still on sale, by the way.
Yeah. The one thing I will bring up, there is 2 more cyclocross races on the Obra calendar this year. They are down in the Eugene area, Oak Hill School Cyclocross. It's this Saturday and Sunday. Don't race the Saturday race. Go race the Sunday race because there's a different event happening on Saturday. That's my one last thing. Jake, go.
Gotcha. My one last thing is this Saturday will be the 8th annual Ugly Christmas Sweater Ride.
Ugly Christmas Sweater Ride.
Yeah, and Lance isn't going to be there again.
I missed it last year. I didn't miss it 2 years ago.
I can't remember.
But I missed it last year, and I'm going to miss it again.
Yeah, so this will be another Ugly Christmas Sweater Ride. It's always a blast. We've always got a bunch of people that show up. It's 100% casual, social paced. Everybody wears an ugly Christmas sweater. Everybody decorates their bikes. We will ride into downtown proper Vancouver area and have a pit stop at the, this year it'll be back at Compass Coffee again.
Cool.
And kind of take over that coffee shop for about an hour, and everybody gets coffee and whatnot. And it's kind of funny because people are just kind of sitting in there, kind of like just, it's a quiet, Saturday at the beginning of December, and it's generally like gray and like kind of like drizzly outside. And all of a sudden, like all of these cyclists just descend upon this coffee shop. And sometimes we'll have upwards of 30, 40, 50 people that'll show up and just kind of go in there and kind of take over, buy everything, and then go back outside, finish up our stuff, and then call it a day.
Especially if it's wet, we linger more in the coffee shop.
Yep.
It looks like it's probably going to be wet this weekend, so there will be
A bit.
there will be a takeover of the coffee shop.
Yeah. So that will be fun. And anybody who wants to come out to this is highly encouraged. It's a good time. We're going to leave at 9 a.m. out of the Dialed Cycling Lab. So we'll actually probably roll at 9:15, and we'll do that ride. It's about 21, 22 miles or something like that.
I think so.
And it'll take about an hour and a half because we're riding so slow, but it's a fun, safe ride. Lots of people out there, good times. Oh, and the purpose behind the ride is it kicks off our Bikes for Kids campaign.
Yeah.
So we've got, an account set up just for this. It goes for the nonprofit. You can make a donation if you do the ride or if you don't do the ride to help this out. And 100% of all of the funds go to buying new bikes and helmets and bike locks for kids that are less privileged. And we do a fun little clinic for them, workshop kind of thing, teach them how to use the bikes. And usually at the end of that, that's when we give them bikes. They don't usually know that that's going to happen. And it's probably one of the funnest days of the year.
It is fantastic.
Yeah. So
super cool.
If you want to check that out, you can actually go to the Dialed Podcast Facebook page, and we've got information posted there, as well as the Dialed Cycling Strava page. We've posted up information as well about the ride, as well as the charity. We've got a GoFundMe if you want to contribute that way, or if you want to contribute another way, we can do that as well. We've actually taken a lot of donations over the years. People will donate different odds and ends and things of that nature. And what's nice is because we are a nonprofit, we can give you back a receipt for your donation that you can use as a tax write-off. And then we take care of finding a home and, selling that at for a few bucks, and that money goes back into the charity. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you want to support that, come on out, do it. Click on some links, make some donations, all those fun things. So
it's a great charity.
Lance, you're heading off to Vegas like now.
Like getting in the van and driving. Yeah.
What's going on down there?
I'm just headed down to spend a week or so with my buddy Ryan, who's down there.
Yeah.
So it should be a tad bit warmer. It's not a whole lot warmer there, but
it's dry.
It's drier.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go down and ride bikes. He still has a job, so he will work every day. I will go ride my bike.
You gonna go check out, was it the Sphere or whatever that thing's called?
I'll go check out the Sphere.
Are you going to go watch a show there?
I am not going to watch a show. I know that's not the plan. Anyway, we do have tickets to the Vegas Knights hockey game on Saturday night. So I'm going to a hockey game.
NHL team down there now, huh?
They do, and they won the Stanley Cup last year.
I've been so disconnected from sports. Where did that team move from? Or was it an expansion team?
Expansion team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And then they've got the Oakland Raiders moved there, so now they're the Vegas Raiders.
The Vegas Raiders are there, and they have a stadium they've built.
And then the Oakland A's are headed there as well. So they're kind of going all in on this sports thing.
Yep, they're building, and they just had F1 there.
That was a bit of a debacle, though.
Little bit,
yeah.
But it was a huge event. There were still a ton of people there. I mean, the freaking race went right down the strip for part of it. And they had to build like walls and grandstands. And now they have to remove the walls to open the strip back up to regular traffic. It's a whole thing. But F1 has signed a 10-year contract for that race.
You're kidding. Like annually?
Annually.
So they've got to build this thing over and over again.
They have to put like walls back up, but they built like a 300-meter building to house all the garages and pits and everything, which is just off the strip. So they put in like a ton of money into infrastructure for this 10-year race.
So is that part of the race course where all of these garages are? Like, do they drive through there and that's where they have the pits at?
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of this stuff. I just saw a few cars that kind of went through there, and I saw the car that hit the manhole cover or the water cover or something like Roddy car or something like that, and just kind of got the whole scuttlebutt about how they were trying to block everybody from being able to see anything.
They want everybody to buy tickets to watch the race.
And then it got delayed, and then there was people that bought tickets, and then they waited and waited and waited, and then when it actually came around, they told them all that they had to leave. And
it was a practice session where
is that what it was?
Tickets to, but because of the manhole cover issue, they canceled the practice, and then.
I wonder if any of those people got refunds.
I don't know.
No.
And it was a little bit of a debacle, but also a huge event in Vegas. So
I heard stories about how much money came into the city that day. And it's one of those sports where it's a very high profile. There's a lot of big money that supports the sport. There's a lot of big money that actually like enjoys watching that sport. And a lot of that, like everything was sold out. And I heard stories about people waiting tables or working in bars and having tabs open for like select people and getting like tips in the tens of thousands of dollar range. I was like, holy cow, good for you. That is awesome.
Lots of people.
Wow. So
anyway, sorry.
We thought we were going to talk about Vegas F1.
Vegas F1? Why are we talking about that?
I don't know. Let's do this again next week though, yeah? Maybe you can call in. Or are you going to be gone?
No, I'll be available. I'll call in.
All right, we'll make it happen.
But I will be gone. Most likely.
I want you on the strip. You can interview people. All right, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with another one of these. And until then, bye for now.